Good afternoon, my name is Jessica, and today I'll be talking about my research study with National University for a Master's in Education, Educational Counseling. I chose to do my research study on a transitional program for high school called AVID, which actually stands for Advancement via Individualized Determination. And I chose to do my study at a local high school here in Fair Oaks, California called Del Campo High School. The reason I chose AVID is because I'm very interested in what AVID offers students. It's actually a transitional program that has been designed to help students get into college. A lot of high school students, we're finding, only 27 will graduate with a four-year college degree out of 100 students. We're also finding that out of 100 students, only 72 will graduate in high school with a degree, a high school diploma, excuse me. So we're finding that a lot of kids are needing help in wanting to complete high school, and also in completing high school, attending college. Whatever that looks like, a trade school, a community college, a college itself, or a four-year university. Nationwide, high schools are implementing various programs such as AVID and intervention systems to decrease student dropouts, enhance student achievement, improve graduation rates, and increase college enrollment. I was very interested in what those programs looked like and what they were doing to help students. So I decided that my research question should be, is AVID effective at Del Campo High School? I chose Del Campo High School because it's an accredited AVID school. Only 100 out of 2,700 schools that use AVID program are accredited with this completion of AVID and all of what it has for Del Campo for its students. So with a 90% success rate at Del Campo High School, I thought it was a good starting point with this kind of study. And is it effective? And if it is effective, what is it doing for students that is so effective that other classes and schools aren't doing for their students? So in defining AVID actually is an assist program helping average students by helping them with learning to take specialized notes, encouraging them to enroll in advanced classes, guiding them to the college admissions process, and providing other essential educational skills. So again, advancement via individualized determination. So what has previous research shown us about AVID? I read a lot of different articles and a lot of different theories and a lot of different assessments of AVID, and found that previous research shows that schools prosper from having AVID implemented within their school. There are dozens of research studies that prove the success of AVID within the school and districts. More than 20,000 AVID graduates nationwide, 93% have gone on to college. It's a huge number and very successful. One study found that students that participated in AVID were 20% more likely to participate in a four-year college or university. Also, research shows that overall AVID college participation rate is 93%. So again, another successful number within the community of students transitioning from high school to college and college attendance. Other research has shown us that when implemented correctly, the AVID program claims to have demonstrated remarkable success with current matriculation to college rate for students at 95%. Today, AVID program serves primarily low-income and minority students in grades 5 through 12, functioning as a method for leveling the playing field for non-minority, rural, low-income, and other students without a college-going tradition in their families. We found that a lot of what AVID is doing is helping first-time students attend college for their family. So a great success. Again, the research just piles on more and more and more success, which questions why aren't other schools using this? Whether money or whatever need, we're finding that AVID is very successful. So in learning about how effective the AVID program is overall, I chose that Del Campo to use for my study. I wanted to do 3 different groups with my study. I wanted to see how successful AVID was with the students who had recently graduated. Those students have recently graduated from Del Campo and are now attending a four-year university, community college, or trade school. I also want to talk to the parents of those students, and then I wanted to talk to the AVID teachers of San Juan Unified and see what their thoughts were on AVID itself. In order to test the effectiveness of the program at Del Campo, I created and distributed a 3-group multiple choice survey. So I created a survey for each group and then found a way of getting those surveys to each group. So in my data collection, there are 3 surveys that were created, like I said. I had one for parents of recent graduated students, the current AVID teachers within San Juan Unified School District, and then graduated AVID students who are currently attending the 4-year community college or trade school. So those students. How did I do this? So it was really interesting. I actually had a local contact through Del Campo, Diane Boyd. She's the AVID teacher at Del Campo. She's in charge of the sophomores, juniors, and seniors at Del Campo, and there is one other teacher who takes just as the incoming freshman for AVID. So in talking with Diane, she actually has an app through the high school called Remind 101, and actually stores students' cell phone numbers, and it's a quick way of getting out messages to these students. So using Remind 101, she was able to contact recently graduated students from the senior year 2016 and that are now college freshmen. The message included an introduction letter and a link to the student survey. Also within the student survey, at the very bottom, I had the parent survey and asked the students to please forward that parent survey to their parents via email, text, however they felt that they needed to get that to their parents. The Remind 101 message included the attached link, like I said, and then also in contacting the teachers through Diane, I was able to receive all of the AVID teachers' emails in the San Juan Unified, and then I personally emailed them and asked them to participate in the study. And there was a link within that message containing the survey and a little bit of introduction as to why I was working on this and what I was looking for. So data collection. So like I said, everybody received a survey. The survey was actually performed through SurveyMonkey. It's an online web page that you can create and distribute surveys. So the parent survey did look like this. This is actually the parent survey. Some of the questions included: I feel that AVID is an effective program for my child. I am satisfied with the AVID program. AVID has helped increase my child's self-esteem. There was a yes, no, and neutral answering part for all surveys. So this is the teacher survey and results. Interesting in the results, I found that there were a lot of yeses, a little bit of no's, and a lot of neutrals for everyone that participated. The teacher survey, there was 100% believed yes in everything I was asking of them. Questions included: is important that students ask questions in class. College prep programs are helpful in preparing students for post-secondary education. It is important that students participate in the classroom setting. And students should feel confident in seeking additional help inside and outside of the classroom. Of the 4 participating teachers, everyone did agree on that. This is the parent survey and results. The parent survey and result was interesting. I did receive 1 no to a question. One person in particular had a lot of neutral, and then there was a lot of yeses. So questions asked of the parents included: I feel that AVID is an effective program for my child. AVID gave my child the support needed to succeed in honors and AP classes. AVID has helped increase my child's self-esteem. AVID has helped prepare my child for college. So the one question that everyone received 100% on, or said yes to, was AVID gave my child the support it needed to succeed in honors and APs classes. So whatever that looked like for their student, whether they needed help in taking notes or they needed help writing to achieve their goals, AVID was there to help and support them. Also, another 100% was AVID helped my child perform better in school. So that's a great, I felt like that was a great response, that everyone believed that AVID helped their student perform better in school, which means AVID is giving the tools the kids need to succeed. So that was a great result. This is the student survey and results. The students had a lot more questions because this is directly more toward their experience within AVID and how they felt it was either effective or not effective now that they're in school. There was a lot of different things on here. Sometimes there was more neutral than there was yes, and sometimes there was a little bit of a no, and then there was a couple 100%. So the 100%, 100% of students that participate in the study felt that AVID is an effective program for high school students. They also felt that while in AVID, they learned the information they needed to go to college. So that's great. Also, 100% of students felt that the AVID program gave them the guidance and encouragement they needed to achieve their goals. And lastly, the students felt that the AVID program was a support network of teachers and classmates that encouraged them to take more initiative in school and do more for themselves. So I felt that was a great response for me. Conducting the survey and reading these results, I was really happy with the overall message I received from students, feeling that AVID was helping them. There was a couple neutrals. 50% of students felt that they asked more questions than they did before, and 50% were neutral, which means I don't know if they felt they always asked questions before, and so this was nothing new for them, or they didn't ask questions before and they didn't feel like AVID maybe helped them ask more questions or feel more comfortable in class to ask questions. There was one, I have gained the courage to speak my mind. 25% said yes to this, and 75% were neutral, which means they didn't really feel that AVID was helping them in feeling more comfortable in talking in their classroom. So, data analysis. In analyzing the data collection, in analyzing the data collection, it is clear that AVID has held a positive influence on the 4 students that participated in the research. AVID parents and those who teach in AVID at San Juan Unified all felt that AVID was an effective program, and through the results I was able to conclude that AVID was definitely a little more effective for students. 100% of the parents who participated agreed that AVID gave their child the support needed to succeed in honors classes, as I talked about before. 100% of the students who participated felt that AVID is an effective program at the high school. Also, 100% of the teachers who participated believe that students should feel more confident seeking additional help, asking questions, participating in class, and being involved in college prep programs. So, again, AVID is so effective, and at Del Campo, not especially, I don't know other ones, but for me, in doing this survey and doing this study, I felt that AVID was overall 100% successful. There was no real area that I felt needed to be worked on. Maybe looking at the results, they could work a little bit more on having the being successful and helping students have a little more self-esteem possibly, and asking questions in class. So what have I learned? In this study and doing this research, I learned that a lot about AVID and what AVID does for the students and what holistic approach it's using to help students and feeling more connected to their school, their teachers, their classmates, giving them the tools they need to succeed, and giving them the self-esteem they need or encouragement they need in applying for college. Building relationships. And working with other teachers and working with other students and parents and working with other, working with other people, I felt that in building these relationships, I was able to ask questions, receive answers. I was able to feel comfortable in contacting people. I felt that I needed these relationships, and so in needing them, I was able to build upon them and contact and get together and work as a team. Data collection. So I was really nervous about collecting my data, and I think I was nervous about doing that because I wasn't sure what my results were going to be. I wasn't sure how many people were going to respond to my surveys. I wasn't sure that I was going to receive the surveys back from these people. I had no idea what that looked like. And so I learned to trust the process, and I was overall very happy with the data that I did collect. Data analysis. I was nervous about data analysis just because I'm not really good with numbers, and I was worried what that was going to look like. But actually, after doing the math and receiving the results, everything seemed to work out very favorably. And I actually learned a lot about analyzing the data and what the results mean as far as if they were effective or if something needed more work or if feeling that that's just kind of how the process went. So what was effective overall? These applications saved me. Remind 101 I felt was fantastic. I have a 10-year-old and actually this is the first year that we're using Remind 101 and in contacting teachers. And the direct cell phone text message really limited the response rate for me. I was an instant response. As soon as the messages went out to the students, I was receiving results that day. So it was really awesome to see that. I felt it was very effective. SurveyMonkey, I created all the questions for my surveys, but SurveyMonkey is an online website that I was able to input my questions and input the yes, no, and neutral as a response. And this is the actual surveys that went out to the students, parents, and teachers. And it all came back to me, and it was all organized. And every day I got to log on, it was unanimous, and I got to see all of that. As far as collecting my data, because of SurveyMonkey and Remind 101, I was really put at ease. It was very effective in collecting data. So recommended changes. Unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed with my sample size. Only 12 students graduated last year, and I only received 4 students who participated in this study. So I felt it was a very low response rate. I would have loved a little more than that. Parents as well, I think because not a lot of students maybe didn't forward the message to their parents. I don't know, but the sample size for the parents seemed very low. Teacher size, I was fine with. I felt the teachers that responded, yeah, I think they did what they needed to do, and I didn't feel like maybe there could have been more, but I think I emailed 7 and 4 responded, so I was pretty happy with that. 2 schools, because Del Campo was so effective, AVID is effective at Del Campo, I really felt that doing another school would really help see if Del Campo is effective and why it is effective compared to another school. Maybe they're doing something that Del Campo is not, but I felt that it would be nice to see that, comparing the 2 schools. Lower income household. So Del Campo is in Fair Oaks, and it's actually a higher income household area, and so they are offered more. It'd be interesting to see this study done at a lower income neighborhood that is using AVID. A change, relying on students. I sent out my surveys in June, and during that time it was also finals time, and so I realized that maybe I didn't get students to respond because they were busy with finals, or they didn't want to, or it was just something on their list they didn't feel like completing. But that was just a problem for me. Relying on them again to forward the message to their parents, another problem. I wasn't sure about these things. So a recommended change, maybe not relying on the students so much and just going directly to them for their results and finding a way to get to their parents. Overall, I was very happy with my study. I loved learning about the transitional program that Del Campo offered. I loved learning about the different programs in itself that are used. I was very happy with everything, and I would do it all over again, maybe a little differently, but all over again, and I'm very happy with my results. So thank you very much for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.